I'm pretty sure that you can improve on your quality management tools and your continuous improvement tools. But I don't think you should. No perfection? No, not always. Hello, I'm Tom. Welcome to my channel where we talk about continuous improvement in an industrial setting. And yes, maybe I've lost my mind, but I am advising you not to go for perfection when it comes to your tools that you're using. See, our continuous improvement tools, Lean tools, Six Sigma tools, problem-solving tools, I'm sure that there are problems with them. I'm sure that some other tool is more suitable for that one problem that you have right now. But when we work in a larger organization, there is a very important cultural concept to also integrate. Now, I'm assuming that you are a continuous improvement expert, even though you might not have it as your job title. But just the fact that you're watching this video already means that you are trying to really get to understand the type of lean tools that we have. That you are really looking for a better way to solve problems, to improve processes, and that is great, and we should be doing that in our community. The thing is, a whole organization doesn't learn as quickly as you, will not adapt as you can, shouldn't need to spend so much time in understanding the tools before working with it and choosing too much. When you have a organizational continuous improvement culture, treasure it, build on that. That is a very important thing. I briefly mentioned it in my how to ace your CI interview. Go watch that video if you want to get a job in continuous improvement or lean anywhere, because I think it is really packed with good stuff for your interview. But I quickly mentioned there, check the company culture for their continuous improvement program, their improvement ideology, and go with that. See, you've got these programs like Toyota production system, or Nestlé continuous excellent, or world-class operations management. They are all systems that belong to a company, right? Toyota, Nestlé, FSO consultants, and they use it, they build it out across their organization. Now, that one will of course be implemented at their client organizations. Nestlé really sort of keeps it for their own company. The Toyota system has been spread out a lot. It's part of their philosophy, but that is a company that built a tool set to fit a philosophy, and they made some choices already. But they made different choices. But the end goal is the same in all of those situations. Going and moving your organization towards performance excellence. Now, they're all good. And they're all not exactly the same as Lean or TPM or Six Sigma or Theory of Constraints, which by themselves are all also very good programs. Now, I know that especially on Lean, but also on the other three, you will have hundreds of different ways to explain them. But there are so many Lean consultants that all have slightly different ways of explaining to it. We have discussions, even here on the channel, I'm telling you from time to time, no, it's not 6S, no, it's not the 8 wastes. I know, I'm sort of part of that as well, which I think within our community is a great thing, but not within your company. When your company has picked a program, you will gain tremendous benefits when your frontline supervisors, your quality department, your operators, everyone in your organization moves towards, right, this is the way we work here. This is the way we handle those tools. And I will guarantee you that if you have picked a problem-solving method that might not be the very ideal of tackling this specific problem, but it will get the job done, just the fact that the different people in that team and around that team speak the same language, expect the same milestones to come from this root cause analysis. Which points do they want to take up? How is it then embedded into your production meetings, your performance control meetings? If you have that set up with milestones in that method, that link back to your meetings and your KPIs and people know what others are talking about, that by itself will already give you so much benefit that switching between your A3 and your 8D or my 6-step, which I do like, I mean, I think it's a very good system. Check out, the course and the template and things like that, but switching to it is probably not worth it unless you do it in a good, steady pace, which all of these programs, by the way, also do these as well, you might say, even though they don't really have as clear ownership. Those companies, they will evolve their programs, but slowly. And this is also a big advice to you. If you join Nestle in any of their hundreds of factories, even if you join as a factory director, don't come in and say, A3 problem solving, it's a lot easier, it's quicker, this factory will go to that. No. Stick with that company's system because you are not alone. You want to tap all the resources in the organization, and that requires a culture. And that is a very, very powerful asset. That's also a reason why I think it is not good to be switching consultancy firms too often. But if you've gotten that one, it'll work. And okay, I now work a lot for these guys and girls over at FSO, so I'm a bit biased, but I've been there as a client as well. It works. But it takes a lot of time to really set it up and make it part of the culture. The same will be if you go for one of their competitors, like well-known McKinsey. They also have an improvement philosophy that's slightly more based on the sort of international standard systems by their design, because that is how they can standardize it all over the world. And it also works. If you flip back and forth between them, you will never get one of those systems into your company culture. Your operators will almost certainly say, all right, there's another consultancy firm coming in, or in my previous example, there's a new plant manager again, and they've got their own way of looking at all these fancy tools, and we'll see. It'll probably fly over, because that plant manager will indeed fly over quite often in about 5 years or so, sometimes even sooner. Consultancy firms will be changed. So, if you change your company culture every time you change an important management position or some external bureau like consultants, of course your operators and the bulk of your organization is not really going to invest into adopting the system. So when you enter a company, fly with it. Because I will guarantee that if you learn all of these tools, you will have enough tools and experience to support any of those programs. And specifically how the steps are worded and when you are expected to report back to some management meeting, that is not the skill set that they took you for. Right? As a continuous improvement or quality specialist engineer, you have to be able to actually work with those systems. And if you know these, you can work with any of those. Don't try to change them. Don't try to optimize them until you are really in the system. If you are in the organization for a half a year, 2 years, especially if you work on more of a central level, then yes, you can go and build it out more specifically for your types of businesses that you have. But even then, central teams of, Nestle, but also any of the other companies I work with specifically, don't change everything, right? Go for one philosophy and implement it in a good way. A decent improvement tool, well implemented, is going to give you 1,000 times more than 5 very nice, exactly tailored improvement tools for the same sort of thing that hardly anyone understands. As long as you are relying on your black belts to be sort of the only ones who can do improvement and problem-solving projects in the first place, you're missing out. And you might be causing it yourself if you keep changing these things. And that is also, if your whole organization has moved to a specific philosophy, try to switch over. But then also don't pick Don't cherry pick from these very good different methods just because it suits your need for one project. Agreed? So, if you like that, hit that like button, but especially with this message, I am way more interested in what really are your experiences with this. Have you, and I can say, yes, I have, especially in my early days, but sometimes still, I have seen opportunities to implement a better tool and went for it without really thinking of the enormous sort of human capital that is in having one of these company-wide programs implemented correctly and broadly. So if you have ever experienced it, other people are trying to do it, or even experience it by yourself, let me and let us know in the comments. And also, if you're interested in buying one, check out the course, but we'll see that probably for another video. For now, I wish you the best of luck finding out and supporting your company improvement culture. And as always, don't forget to enjoy the continuous improvement journey.